Hi everyone, this is Virginia, holistic healer and astrologer, and welcome to June. June opened up with Mercury, the planet of communication, going into Cancer, the sign of the feelings. As a therapist, I love this because this is exactly what we need. Because between what is said and not meant, and what is meant and not said, most of love is lost. Food for thought. Now, Mercury is all about thinking. And this year retrogrades in all water signs that are all about feeling. And this is what in psychotherapy we call to make contact, where the thinking and the feeling connects. And that's what it heals. Because catharsis is merely relieves pent up energy and tension, which is great, but it builds all over again if it is not healed. Now, this is easier for women than for men because men have like a two-way street where they are either thinking or feeling. And women's brain are more like an entangled yarn because they're thinking what to do next while they're tending to the baby's needs, feeling and trying to get a tune, understanding what the baby say, and the baby says, "Wah." So ultimately for women it's easier than for men to make contact. And Cancer is a sign of motherhood, while Mercury will remain for a long time because it will retrograde there. Now, before the retrograde, we have the shadow periods, the pre-shadow and the post-shadow. So we will go over the same themes 3 times, and I will talk more about it as we approach the retrograde. But basically, the retrograde, which spooks everyone, is about all things RE. Research, reassess, reconsider, revise, and redo, but this time better. And this is a significant shift in how we think and how we relate, how we communicate, because Mercury, the messenger, the mind, the way we process information, has been in Gemini, where it rules and where it's quick, logical, witty, but also detached. Now in Cancer, it slows everything down and it goes deeper. It becomes emotional, intuitive, and sensitive. On the upside, conversations are warmer, they carry connection, and they're more genuine. So you can bond deeply through conversations with friends, family, and loved ones. On the shadow side, we become a little bit more emotionally reactive. Something that someone says lands harder than meant it, or we read into messages or misinterpret neutral messages, because Mercury in Cancer is the inner child's voice that is getting louder. The way we communicate now gets colored by feelings over logic. But this information is more about you than about them. So when something triggers you, this is when you have to stop yourself and ask, is this really what they meant, or this is what I'm afraid they meant? Especially because now, as I'm recording this on the 4th, Mercury squares Neptune, where there is a fog in the sky. So things get confusing, they're not clear. There might be misleading, distorted, or promises cannot be kept up, or communications carry a higher than usual risk of misunderstanding and human error. On the positive side, this is great for art, inspire work, writing, poetry, music, you name it. It's not good for context though, so wait a couple of days for that. Now on the 9th, Mars becomes visible in the sky, and this is the first time it happened in 6 months. And when a planet emerges from its invisibility, it's like waking up from a long nap, is now energized and ready to move, even though it's in detriment in Taurus. But I expect a surge in drive, ambition, physical energy, initiative, assertiveness, and even sexual energy and passion, but also in reactiveness, conflicts, and challenges. So, therapeutically, remember your PPP, your purpose, your passion, and your progress. So, if you direct that energy, you ride the wave instead of being knocked over by it. And finally, what everyone is talking about, the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in Cancer, that is lovely because Venus is love, beauty, harmony, and Jupiter is abandon, expansion, lack, generosity, and grace. So when these two meet, these are the two benefics, the two planets that astrologers always consider the most fortunate or auspicious. This energy is very favorable, and they're meeting in Cancer where Jupiter is exalted. And Cancer is the sign of emotional depth, family, nurturing, and soul level connection. And Mercury is there to witness this union. So this helps with attracting the right people, people that are aligned, the right opportunities, the right experiences, and it feels effortless. So new relationships or repairing existing relationships or going to the next step. And it also favors negotiations too. It's also great for beauty treatments, celebrations, social gatherings, because we tend to feel more hopeful, more open, and willing to believe that good things can happen to us, that they're possible. We finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this heals unconscious beliefs that loves or abandons are scarce or that we have to struggle or earn them. And for this one, you don't have to do anything about it. Let Venus and Jupiter do their work. You can just chillax and enjoy. Now, if you want to launch a project, invite that hottie out, start a conversation, this is a great time to do it. Now, who's going to feel this the most? So, Cancer, as it happens in your sign, this is your spotlight, and then is also going to be felt by the cardinal signs like Capricorn as it opposes your sign. So this will manifest more in your significant relationships, and the other cardinal signs like Libra and Aries as it's going to square you. Now for Libra, this will show up more in your career and public reputation arena, while for Aries, this will show more in your home and family sector. Now water signs are the ones who are gonna go with the flow, no pun intended, because Scorpio, this is in your area of growth and expansion. And for Pisces, this falls in your creativity, recreation, and procreation area. So for water signs, the world is your oyster. Now for Gemini, this is gonna benefit your second house of incomes and values. And for Leos, this will benefit your mental health and spirituality. For Virgo, this will benefit your friendships and networks. And for Sagittarius, this will benefit your shared resources, trust, and intimacy. And finally, for Aquarius, this will benefit your health, exercise routine, daily habits, and your pets. Either a therapy pet, or you might get a new pet, or your pet might have puppies. Now, for horoscopes, you always want to check your big three, your sun, moon, and rising. And people always ask me, how do I know that? Now, I made a free guide in my site that you can download to learn how to cast a chart and also how to identify your sun, moon, and rising and how to use them in order to read horoscopes. And that will give you a bird's eye view and a bigger picture of how the energies will play out for you. And you can find that in my website, virginiakelly.com/astrology or /store. And the link is below. If you like, press the like button. If you dislike, press the thumbs down. The algorithm doesn't care about what you think, it just cares about engagement. So if you like, share with your friends. If you don't, share with your enemies. And if this resonates with you, subscribe for updates. Thank you very much. See you next week.